he's really, emphasizing that, in the very, large detail and going back, to centuries. That is something, for a long time ago. It is not something that just happened. And so as I was, pulling all these things together, I am also recognizing through the chart of United States that we have the North Node here. It's in Leo. Okay. So when you, because to me actually, when you work on somebody's chart, to me actually the North Node is the most important lesson, because the North Node is showing us the direction where we have to go and where we are coming from. And it's kind of interesting that the South Node is in the second house and Aquarius. And I said, wow, this is pretty interesting right now. So, talking about, practically, there are all the qualities of Aquarius is that, it's also a huge community oriented, talking about communities. That's the new age. Not new age, but the age of Aquarius, that, going back to the communities, working with communities. And, look at how many different culture we have here in the States. And also, look, like I've been saying, what really kind of hit me is about the technocracy and technology. So, wow, that is pretty remarkable, because what is showing me with that is that also in the third house we have Pisces, and the moon is in Pisces. So if you look Pisces from a different angle, it's actually finishing a cycle, and also on some level finishing that ancestral energy, the way we were passing, always from one generation to the next generation and the next generation. So we never kind of pulled ourselves out of that. And at the same time, we are also, Pisces is related to the savior victim mentality. For how long, US was in power, the world power, quote unquote, trying to save the world. But guess what? This is changing, because in the fourth house, we have Aries, and we have Chiron also in Aries. And our practically the Chiron is the wounded healer. So what does that actually mean? That means to me that in this last 250 years, we have right now also Capricorn return, because that was that is in a same sign when they did the Constitution 1776, when they established the America. In the Constitution, now I'm having this Capricorn Pluto return, and having actually Chiron in Chiron in Aries. It's pretty amazing to me that on two levels we are creating change. Because in the astrology you have 3 stages, and I've been talking about that, but I will repeat it again. The first stage is, from the birth until, maybe until you're around 30, which is actually a Saturn return. That is about to understand who you are, okay? And I think in the last 250 years, America, us, underneath the constitution and all the challenges what this country was going through. Now it's moving in the second stage, in the stage where you are recognizing, you have to work in the relationship to the other person. And by the third time when we will have this, or the second time when we will have this Pluto return in another 254 years or so, we will move into the third stage. In this next 250 years, what we are gonna do is start to create new relationships, because Chiron right now in Aries is giving us the opportunity to recognize where we got wounded, where we got abused. Practically opposition to Aries is Libra, meaning relationships. And we had everything but relationships. You can see it what just got played out, last month. It's just freaking amazing. So, and at the same time, when we start to move, we will have quite a bit of planets now in the next 20, 30 years that will move into Aquarius and in Pisces. So this will end up be a huge finishing cycle, okay, from those past experiences. And then we will be able to move into this healing from the south node into the eighth house of the Leo north node, meaning we will have to find a whole new way to see ourselves as individuals, okay? Because Leo is ruled by the heart chakra, and also Leo is and this in Leo we are becoming aware about ourselves. So this is right now a whole new waking up of the individuals. So now let's go back, when we said, so what is this all mean, all these changes what we are experiencing right now, because it's not happening fast enough, and people are not patient, because people were thinking, snap the finger and we will be in this whole new space and tra-la-la-la and everything be hunky-dory. Folks, this is not gonna happen. This will end up to be process, because the Pluto is in Capricorn still until 2024, and then we'll go into Aquarius. So Aquarius is about liberation, but first you will have to understand the problem. You have to face the issue that is holding us back before we can go into the liberation. So this whole process will end up to be very interesting. Again, like I said, this is right now from the point of astrology, because another thing what I really also wanted to add, remember how we were so excited and psyched last year and blah, 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 and it just went plummeted in this huge rabbit hole. And my point was this: why did that happen? The reason why, because folks, everything on the internet is being censored and listened, being tracked. So all the social media, what we are, putting our information out, and behavior and, thoughts and ideas and everything, the technocrats got access to it. And when you have the whole information where the humanity is, it's very easy to counter it. Okay, and that was actually countered by this what's the name, Project Trust, the way they actually crushed the Russian things in 1918. So it's not a surprising that this whole thing went actually down the hill because, look, like I said, it ended up to be, in my personal opinion, it got uh, swallowed by the internet information, and also maybe by AI. I'm not quite sure. This is something that I'm just kind of throwing out and, give you a little idea so that you can actually contemplate with that. So I went actually in totally different direction that I was planning to go, but anyway, still gives people a good idea that, maybe, this is a much bigger picture, folks, than what we are actually anticipating. And we are shifting practically from one scenario in the next scenario. And this kind of processing takes between roughly 40, 50, 60, 80 years, depends, how it's getting played out and how it's getting implemented. And because we are dealing with the technology, and again, that's the Aquarius aspect, because we are dealing with the Aquarius and technology, I think a lot of things got kind of speeded. This whole thing actually got triggered for me last week by the scene when the kingmaker is running through the hallway with Neo, and you can see doors and doors and doors, and he's right now looking for the right door to get in. Well, how is this relevant to the Aquarius? Well, Aquarius is also, folks, amongst many things, is also a higher mind. And just remember this, being in the higher mind, there are so many options and so many opportunities that we actually still didn't research, we didn't tune in, we didn't tap in. So I think this is a huge possibility, even though we are getting challenged. So this is actually the catch 22 that I wanted to leave you with that actually. Even though it looks very much frail, the whole right now the situation, because it's almost like a checkmate situation, and nobody can kind of move. It's just like one makes a move, then another makes a move, and it's just we are just kind of locking each other in. But I will kind of give you the idea. Challenge yourself. Number one, go into the Chiron, Aries and Chiron. Find out where your biggest wounds are. Process them, because Aries is also about your mind. It's a head, intellect, okay? And Aquarius is showing you the higher mind. So practically when you allow yourself to process the pain, you start to and integrate it, all of a sudden stuff starts to open up to you, okay? And you can trust more to that. And with that, you will be able to actually go into this higher mind. And don't be afraid to ask very tough questions, because the more focused your question is, or direct, go to the core. Go to the core. The more direct the answer, the question is, the more direct answer you will get it. Because when the question is too vague, the mind is not focusing on the right answer, cannot give you the right answer. So this way, when you go into the totally focused question, then your mind will start to focus on it and give you the direction. So, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Okay, with the Mercury, only